Welcome, Anjali.
Ma'am, thank you so much.
Pleasure.
I'm very big fan of you.
Oh, no, madam, thank you so much. God bless you.
థ్యాంక్ యూ ప్లీజ్ కమ్ ఇన్ మీరు మాకు ఏదైనా ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఎలిమెంట్స్ చూపిస్తారా
Important.
చాలా బాగుంది మ్యామ్
I'm a Kodava.
ఓ
Simba.
My mother.
నమస్తే అండి అశ్విని నాచిప్ప గారి మదర్ రిలీజ్ మ్యామ్ యువర్ ద ఏమంటారు కరెక్ట్ ఇందులో అచ్చని తెలుగులో చెప్పాలంటే ఆదర్శవంతమైన మదర్ అందరికి అసలు అప్పట్లోనే యు ఆర్ లుకింగ్ సో స్ట్రాంగ్ రియల్లీ చూసారా ఎంత స్ట్రాంగ్ ఉన్నారో అసలు ఇది కదా ఏం చేస్తుంటారు మీరు చెప్పండి నా వాట్ యు డూ యాక్చువల్లీ ఫర్ యువర్ ఫిట్నెస్
Nothing, walking, morning walk. I will walk for nearly one kilometer.
ఓ
Brisk walk. She
Just
does.
walk.
ఓకే వాట్ ఈస్ దిస్ మ్యామ్ యాక్చువల్లీ
This is the Koog symbol. That's the Koog knife.
ఓకే
Marriage,
So, in the marriage
food festival, you have to wear that.
ఇస్ ఇట్
Yeah.
Long black coat.
Ah,
This is
ఓకే
So you have an aircraft flying. We have the airport next door.
అచ్చా ఓకే ప్లీజ్
Come, come.
మ్యామ్ దిస్ పెయింట్ ఈస్ సో గుడ్ రియలీ
Thank you. That's an artist from North Karnataka. His name is Nelagi.
ఓ
Paints only the bulls. So
ఓకే
that's his speciality of it.
ఓకే
And of course, my Arjuna, but then you have Ganeshas all over. It's,
ఐ థింక్ యువర్ గణేష్ ఫేవరెట్
yes. I've been collecting Ganeshas for many years.
ఓకే
That's some of my medals.
ఓకే
That is just displayed.
ఓకే
The rest are all in the suitcase.
ఎన్ని పెట్టేస్తాం దెర్ ఇస్ నో ప్లేస్ టు పుట్ ఇట్ యాక్చువల్లీ దట్ ఇస్
not
ఆల్సో
important now.
దట్స్ ట్రూ దట్స్ ట్రూ
So that's
సో ఇట్ సైడ్ అంతా మొత్తం బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ అంతా ఉందా మ్యామ్ గార్డెన్
you have.
ఎప్పుడు తీసుకున్నారు మ్యామ్ ఇది చాలా బాగుంది కానీ ఇట్స్ రియలీ గుడ్
We moved in about 3 weeks back.
దట్స్ ఇట్
That's it, yeah. But we bought the house in 2015. We just got ready. Yeah.
ఓ ఓకే ఓకే ప్లీజ్ కమ్ మ్యామ్ మిమ్మల్ని చూడడం చాలా 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 సంతోషంగా ఉంది అది నేను నా మాటల్లో చెప్పలేకపోతున్నాను ఐఎమ్ వెరీ బిగ్ ఫ్యాన్ ఆఫ్ యూ
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
మ్యామ్ మీ అశ్విని మూవీ చూసి మీ రన్నింగ్ స్టైల్ చూసి మీరు వేసిన అడ్రస్ అనండి లేదంటే మీ కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ చూసి ట్రాక్ అండ్ ఫీల్డ్లోకి వచ్చిన వ్యక్తిని నేను సో ఐ వాజ్ అ నేషనల్ అథ్లీట్ మ్యామ్ ఇట్స్ జస్ట్ బికాస్ ఆఫ్ యూ ఓన్లీ
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that, and congratulations that I inspired you. It's actually very heartwarming. Thank you so much.
మ్యామ్ అప్పుడు ఎలా ఉన్నారో ఇప్పుడు అదే ఫిట్నెస్తో ఉన్నారు ఏం చేస్తున్నారు
Ledu, ledu. I put on a little weight. Yeah, but fitness is part of my regime. I'm up by 5:30.
ఇప్పుడు కూడా
ఇప్పుడు కూడా 1 hour fitness mandatory in the morning. I gym, I do yoga, I play golf. Okay. So between the three, I manage to keep my fitness. Yeah.
రైట్ కానీ మ్యామ్ మీ ఆ మూవీ చూసిన తర్వాత కానీ ఇప్పుడు మీ గురించి తెలుసుకున్నప్పుడు కానీ యాక్చువల్లీ ఇప్పుడు 70s మీకు ఒక అమ్మాయిని చదివించాలన్నా స్పోర్ట్స్ వైపు పంపించాలన్నా సో మెనీ రిస్ట్రిక్షన్స్ ఫ్రమ్ హోమ్ అమ్మ నుంచి నిజంగా మీకు ఎలాంటి రిస్ట్రిక్షన్ రాలేదా అప్పుడు
Ledu. Actually, I am what I am because of my family, because of the support of my mother. Both for my sister and myself. I think there has never been any other talk other than supporting in sports. And as a young child, I think both my sister and myself, Pushpa and myself, we started winning at a very young age. Both my parents are not sports persons as such, but my father was working in Birlas in Calcutta. At that point in time, a lot of factory lockouts used to happen in the 70s, late 70s. So when we were born, I think parents took a decision to move to Bangalore. My father continued to work there. And appudu house was just next to Kantirva Stadium.
ఓకే
And that's how mummy after school would not let us play on the street but would take us to the stadium. And at that point in time, there used to be India's greatest athletes, A.P. Ramaswamy, Dorothy Menezes. So we used to watch them. I used to run for a nutrient sweet There was a coach called Mohinder Singh Gill. So he would bribe all these little kids. We were about 8 or 9 years old, and they say for every round you'd get a nutrient sweet, and that's how I started running, collecting more number of sweets. So that's how my journey began.
హైదరాబాద్లో ఎల్బీ స్టేడియంలో మీ గురించి ప్రతిరోజు మేము మాట్లాడుకునేవాళ్ళం బికాజ్ యువర్ లెగ్స్ టైడ్, చాలా లెంగ్ది, యాక్చువల్లీ ఇన్ని మీటర్స్ ఉంటుంది అని చెప్పని మాట్లాడుకునేవాళ్ళం.
The movie measured, they've done it, but otherwise I think all athletes, that is cinema. Yeah.
కానీ మీ రియల్ లైఫ్కి ఎంతవరకు ఆ మూవీలో మనం తీసుకోవచ్చు అంటే ఏం చెప్తారు మ్యామ్? ఇస్ ఇట్ రియల్ స్టోరీ ఆఫ్ యోర్స్?
It's not a real story. I think cinema really does not portray a real story. But challenges, of course, were many. Some of the challenges are highlighted in a different format. But I think what they did very smartly was the producer, Mr. Ramaji Rao, as well as our director, shot all my running races where I beat Usha without my consent. At Nehru Stadium. So they got some live footage which made the movie, I guess, more acceptable to public. Yes, the hardship of my mother, the hardship of my family was always there. It was portrayed in a different way. But my beating Usha, some of the scenes have been related to my story.
కానీ ఇప్పటికీ యూట్యూబ్లో షార్ట్స్ రీల్స్ వచ్చినప్పుడు ఒకలాంటి ఒక్కసారి గ్రౌండ్కి వెళ్ళి మీ షార్ట్స్ రీల్స్ ఇప్పటికీ వస్తాయి తెలుసా. సో ఇన్స్పైర్ సో మచ్.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm so happy to hear that.
కానీ ఈ రోజుకి అమ్మాయిలు ఇంత బాగా చదువుకుంటున్నా, వాళ్ళ కాళ్ళ మీద వాళ్ళు నిలబడుతున్నా, ఇద్దరు అమ్మాయిలు ఉన్న పేరెంట్స్లో ఒక ఇన్సెక్యూరిటీ ఉంటుంది. నేను చాలా చూస్తున్నాను మ్యామ్. ఆ ఇన్సెక్యూరిటీ మీ మదర్లో కానీ మీలో కానీ నేను ఎక్కడా చూడలేదు. ఎందుకంటారు?
Insecurity comes, I think, with lack of confidence. Insecurity will come with lack of conviction. I think when a person does everything in his or her capacity with a single-minded focus and with a conscious effort not to hurt anybody in the process, you're confident. I always feel that. I said, whatever we do, as long as we do not hurt anybody intentionally or disturb anybody intentionally to achieve our prime objective in life, and be humble to everybody. I think if you don't respect one another, that thing. So I don't have any kind of insecurity as such. I have lived a life with basic minimum as a family, where we struggled to achieve throughout our journey, and I'm in a place with God's blessings where I am today.
కానీ ఒక స్పోర్ట్స్మెన్ కానండి, అథ్లీట్స్ కానండి, ఎవరికైనా సరే ఒక మంచి ఫుడ్, ప్రోటీన్ ఫుడ్, రెస్ట్ అండ్ ఎక్సర్సైజ్ అండ్ సపోర్ట్ సిస్టమ్, ఇవి చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్.
I think support system is the prime criteria for any child to succeed, whether music, academics, sports, cultural, dance, anything. Family backing is not there, then the child cannot blossom. And I think that's one of. With regard to diet, when we were running in the 80s, there was no question of diet. For us, a non-veg would be once a week or probably once a month, depending on the financial conditions. Okay, so it's only when we get to a national level in the camp. Camps used to be for 6 months, Patiala. So there was no other opportunity. So the main diet was paneer versus chicken. If you're a vegetarian, it's paneer, and if you're a non-veg, it's chicken. So we really didn't have that kind of, you have your dal, chawal. It is like dietitian, psychologists, and the more kind of inputs, sports sciences, which was unheard of in our days. So I think in our era, whoever's achieved whatever they have in their space has been brilliant, considering some of the records are still not broken.
యా,
So
అందుకే అంటారు కష్టే ఫలే అని చెప్పని కదా.
yeah.
మీరేం చదువుకున్నారు మ్యామ్? వాట్ ఈస్ యువర్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ క్వాలిఫికేషన్ యాక్చువల్లీ?
So I joined Vijay Bank in 86, 87, soon after my 12th standard, because I needed the money to support the family as well as pursue my sporting journey. And Apro, they would take for sports quota, we all got absorbed into nationalized banks. And then I did correspondence and I completed my graduation. That's it. I'm a graduate in arts, and I've just moved on.
కానీ 90s వరకు కూడా స్పోర్ట్స్మెన్స్కి ఒకటే గోల్ ఉండేది, ఒక మంచి నేషనల్ లెవెల్లో ఇంటర్నేషనల్ లెవెల్లో ఒక గేమ్ ఆడాలి, మంచి మెడల్ కొట్టాలి, గవర్నమెంట్ జాబ్ సంపాదించాలి. రైట్ మ్యామ్, ఈవెన్ నేను కూడా అదే థాట్ ప్రాసెస్లో ఉండింది. ఇన్ని నేషనల్స్ ఆడాను, నాకు సెంట్రల్ గవర్నమెంట్ రైల్వేస్లో పోస్టుల్లో జాబ్స్ వచ్చినా కూడా ఎవరు ఇవ్వలేదు. అప్పుడు కూడా ₹1,00,000 అడిగిన సందర్భం నేను ఫేస్ చేశాను. అది ఇవ్వలేక నాకు రాలేదు. ఐ హ్యావ్ చేంజ్ మై ట్రాక్ నౌ, అథ్లెటిక్స్ టువర్డ్స్ టు మీడియా. కానీ చాలా బాధ అనిపిస్తుంది. ఇప్పుడు మీలాంటి వాళ్ళు చాలా సపోర్ట్ చేస్తున్నారు అథ్లెట్స్కి.
But Anjali, I think what you learned on the field is what's driving you to do this. The lessons of life on the field is what drives all of us. For me, for every child, it's not that they have to be at the international stage, but the experience of that competition, of brotherhood, of fellowship, of teamwork. All these are learnings that does not happen within the four walls of a classroom. It happens on field physically. And I think that's a learning all of us have had, which really takes us through our journey in whatever this thing. As far as jobs are concerned, yes, during our times there were, whether it's railways, services, banks, would give us a percentage of their profit as recruitment for meritorious sports. But for an average sports person, there wasn't. And when we were running, our prize money used to be, 2,000, 3,000.
అవును.
And that, sometimes the state treasury doesn't have money, so you get it after years together. So it was a struggle. It was a real struggle financially. I remember because my sister was also an international athlete. So for my parents to support, my mother would mortgage her jewelry to just get us at one championship. That time, no reservation, so you'd go on unreserved. But the will, the hunger and the desire to come back home with a medal was enormous.
అవును.
Irrespective of what came by. And I think if the intention is only to get a job, that's not how anybody should look at life. To do anything, I think one has to give 100%. We all say in life, we can bring the kids up to a certain age. You can't expect them to do things for us. Whatever good happens, it's a bonus, but you've got to move on. And I think, so giving that 100% in what you do is very important.
అసలు నేను ఎలా అనుకున్నానంటే, మార్నింగ్ వచ్చి మీ ఎక్సర్సైజ్ చేయడం ఇదంతా కూడా విజువల్స్ తీసుకుందాం అనుకున్నాను. అనుకుని మళ్ళీ మీరు ఏమన్నా అనుకుంటారేమో, వెదర్ ఐఎమ్ సపోజ్ టు ఆస్క్ ద క్వశ్చన్ ఆర్ నాట్. ఐ వాజ్ లిటిల్ కన్ఫ్యూజ్డ్ యాక్చువల్లీ. ఐఎమ్ లిటిల్ టెన్స్డ్.
Very much. It's still a very important part of my life. My mother goes for her morning walk. My husband and I go to the gym or run or whatever. So that's in my DNA.
దట్స్ ట్రూ. ఒకసారి స్పోర్ట్స్ మెన్ అయిన తర్వాత దాన్ని అంత తొందరగా వదులుకోలేము.
లేదు. That's true, yeah.
కానీ ఇప్పుడు మీ సిస్టర్ ఏం చేస్తున్నారండి రైట్ నౌ? వాట్ షీ ఈస్ డూయింగ్?
My sister is in Ireland. She's married an Irishman, and they'll be coming first week of December. So she lives there, works there, has a family there.
ఓకే.
My two daughters, my older one works with a music company, so she's out of Goa. My younger one lives in Paris. She's been there for 7 years working in Paris.
సో స్పోర్ట్స్ నుంచి ఒక టైం తర్వాత క్విట్ చేసినట్టేనా?
Yeah. I think Anisha played national badminton. She and Sindhu were in the same age category. And then she went off to the US to study, and sports was not taken up after that.
కానీ ఆ టైంలో మీరేం అనలేదా? సో ఎందుకు వదిలేస్తున్నారు? జస్ట్ హోల్డ్ డౌన్.
I think more than me, my mother was very upset. But I think today's children are different. Options are many. And when they grow up in a family which had nothing but is providing them everything, you can't expect, so you have to give them their choices then.
కానీ నేను స్పోర్ట్స్ స్టార్ట్ చేసినప్పుడు మా మదర్కి మా కోచ్ చెప్తూ ఉండేవారు ఏంటంటే, అమ్మాయిని స్పోర్ట్స్లో పంపిస్తే ఒక అబ్బాయిని వదిలేసినట్టే వదిలేయాలమ్మా. సిగ్గు బిడియం, మా అమ్మాయి ఎలాగండి ఇంత షార్ట్స్ వేసుకుని గ్రౌండ్లో ఎలా పరిగెడుతుందండి, అందరూ చూస్తే రేపు పెళ్ళవుతుందా, సో ఇలాంటివన్నీ అనేవారు. సో మై మదర్ వాజ్ సో హెసిటేటెడ్ టు సెండ్ మీ ద గ్రౌండ్.
Yeah, yeah.
ఆ స్లీవ్లెస్ వేయడానికి, షార్ట్ వేయడానికి, ఈవెన్ నా పెళ్లి చూపులు చూడడానికి కూడా గ్రౌండ్కి వచ్చి చూశాక మై హస్బెండ్ టోల్డ్ మీ దట్ ఈ స్పోర్ట్స్ నువ్వు మానేస్తేనే నేను పెళ్లి చేసుకుంటాను. ఈ షార్ట్స్లో నేను ఎవరైనా చూస్తే నన్ను ఏమనుకుంటారు. ఇలాంటి వాళ్ళకి మీరు ఏం సమాధానం చెప్తారు?
Luckily, I didn't get through any of this, my parents had never questioned.
That's
any of this.
great, really.
I mean, coming from a non-sports person background, and I think growing up in a city was a little different in Bangalore because everybody would be in their respective sporting gear. But I understand in those days, especially in rural India, people were hesitant, mothers were hesitant. Ultimate, as you said, the intention was, will she get a boy? Will she get settled if she's in this? I'm happy that today it's all changed. If you see children from Haryana, from Uttarakhand, all in the, so good to see them stand with such confidence and to be a hero in their own community and inspire young children and families of very, very orthodox Hindus or Christians or Muslims to actually take up the sport. So that transformation, I feel, is what is India's story. And the kind of capacity building that each child has gone through to not just stand in the podium and receive medals, but to actually converse with somebody else with such authority is something that is transformational, is something inspirational. I think it motivates a lot of people to take up sport. I always believe the more heroes in sport, the more children take up, the more families get inspired. And today you can make a career out of sports. In the application, you can actually write, I'm a tennis player, athlete. In our days, we had to wonder what to write as occupation. But today, I think we are at a stage where we can write a few sport like that.
ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఒక అకాడమీ రన్ చేస్తున్నారు. అక్కడికి వచ్చే పిల్లలు పేరెంట్స్ ఏమంటున్నారు? మా అమ్మాయిని లేదా మా అబ్బాయిని ఎన్ని రోజుల్లో నేషనల్ ఆడి చేస్తారు, జాబ్కి వచ్చేస్తారని అనే ఒక ప్రెజర్ ఉంటుందా? ఎలాంటి పేరెంట్స్ని, ఎలాంటి పిల్లల్ని మీరు చూస్తున్నారు?
In our school, see, we run a school in Coorg, which has from Montessori up to grade 12. Okay. And sports is a very important part of our curriculum.
Okay.
It's not just those who are good will play. Every child plays sport, whether it is swimming, hockey, including we have shooting as one of our core sports, 10-meter shooting. From grade 6 onwards, selection happens. Those who are good get into training programs, and all our training of those selected athletes in athletics, hockey and shooting is free of cost. But you have to show, and the families have to show that support. Otherwise, there's no point. When you give it free, it's only their travel, what they take. But training cost, everything is covered by the foundation. I think our school is different because even my teachers are very fit.
Yeah. So nice.
We have 65 plus teachers and everybody is. So we conduct marathons, we conduct events, we conduct hockey championships, we conduct athletic for the entire district because we're in a small hometown. And I think it's important. I always believe that everybody is there in India to look at once you reach at the national level. But that journey for that child to reach the national level is very important. And that the base of the pyramid, if it is larger, then champions will emerge out of choice and not chance. So for me, it is important to create that base. So I focus on grassroots till under 16 years. And then 16 or 18 maximum. And if they really pursue it and are already at the national level, like one of my child was with me till graduation, now she's got a job. So neighboring colleges we have tied up with. But the focus is on building these and 7 to 8 of my players have already been absorbed in Sai hockey team.
Oh.
Some of the athletes have gone. Right now, I have about 8 children who have qualified for the SGIF games in athletics, 2 in hockey. So they're all representing the state. So that's how I churn out young talent, and then they move on into various stages.
అంటే వై కూర్గ్ అంటే కూర్గ్లోనే పెట్టడానికి కారణం ఏమిటి యాక్చువల్లీ?
There are 2 reasons. My husband was a national junior hockey India player, but he got into business, and both of us came in from Coorg. Coorg really did not, though we have produced, from the armed forces to hundreds of international players in hockey and, in other sport, there was no facility as such. For an education, you have to come to Coorg, from Coorg to Mysore or Mangalore or Ooty or Bangalore. So there was no good education system there. So everybody was moving out, and I think for both of us, we are very close to our hometown, and it was important as a community to develop our community. We are a very small community. It's the smallest district in India, so nobody really pays attention. Though we are highest revenue generating with coffee, nobody really pays attention to Coorg. And I think setting this up 20 years back has led to many developments as a community, with many hubs coming up. Today, Coorg is a tourist hub. It has some of the most fantastic places. A lot of education setups have come up. But we are different because we also house an academy.
కానీ మీ అకాడమీలో జాయిన్ అవ్వాలి అంటే ఏ స్టేట్ నుంచైనా రావచ్చా?
I have from Jammu Kashmir also. I have NRI students also. But we have only 8.
అయితే ఐ షుడ్ కమ్ దేర్ అండ్ కవర్ ద
Yeah, you should do that.
అకాడమీ.
We can't cross more than 875. That's our max number of students. So whether you're good in sports or not, you have to go through a basic entrance exam, because there's only limited seats in each class, and with only 870, we are not increasing the numbers also. So it's good. I mean, started off not coming from an educational background, but it has been a learning, and I continue to learn today from my young kids who are there. Every day is a learning. Yeah.
కానీ మీ జర్నీలో స్పోర్ట్స్లో ఉన్న పాలిటిక్స్ మీరు కూడా చూసుంటారు. కానీ ఇప్పుడు కంపారిటివ్లీ అది ఏమైనా తగ్గిందంటారా?
I wouldn't say reduced, because I became an administrator in sports after I left competing in sports. And I feel, looking at the scenario, especially in small districts and states, enormous amount of politics still happens.
యా ట్రూ.
At the national level, of course, your performance does the talking, so you don't really. But yes, we all know what's happening in federations, what's happening in associations, how many multiple associations are there in one sport. So that politics happens, and I always feel that, it's best what I do is to just help children, by giving them the platform. I've gotten out of administration of sport because at that point, before the Commonwealth Games, India was in such a mess, and we launched the clean sports movement. 10 Olympians got together and launched it, and the ills of sport really came out to the public, because prior to that, everybody said, what is there? You'll run, you'll recognize what is there. But the journey is very tough, especially in team sport.
True.
It's very difficult. So I think you have to show exceptional grit, determination, and performance, of course, to go with it.
కానీ మన ఇండియాలో స్పోర్ట్స్కి ఇచ్చే ప్రయారిటీ అని అంటే మీ ఉద్దేశ ప్రకారం ఎంత ఉంది ప్రయారిటీ?
I think today, as I said, because the governments have given such lift to sport, other than cricket. If you see, even in Olympic sport or the Asian Games, 100 odd medals, it's not come from one sport. It's come from an array of sports, which is fantastic. In our days, it was just Usha, Shiny, myself. Just the athletics were prominent, and to a certain extent, hockey was prominent. Right? Today, across disciplines, it's good. And I think if parents can take it up and children can balance the pressures of academics,
కరెక్ట్.
not everybody can get 95%.
దాట్స్ ట్రూ.
Right? So, what is the road for an average child? I'm an average student, but I've done well in life.
దట్స్ గుడ్.
So, even my daughter, when she was playing badminton, I would say if you get 50-60%, it's enough. But her schoolmates, parents would call me and say, don't give such statement. I said, my child works out 6 hours a day. Right? So I don't expect her to get 90% so that your class average goes up. So, and I tell my athletes in my school also, one is no compromise on discipline. Second is no compromise on hard work. And third is just focus on the studies to get where you're supposed to get. I'm not asking you to get a 90%. Because in our academy, when our children go out in sports, our teachers take one-on-one for every child so that so without compromising on all this, your average mark should be this much. So I think if you can do that and balance it out, in our days 50-60% was like very good. You know, we got jobs, we got college admission, but today with a 90% you don't get college admission.
True.
So really, are we on the right path in that direction? Because you're not allowing children to actually experience, and then you give them so much of pressure. So then you have mental, stress, and then today mental illness has become
Big part actually in our lives.
big part. So everything, it's very strange because for us, our masters would give us a thing or our parents would give us, and we had that respect. Today you can't even scream at a child.
కదా అసలు పేరెంట్స్ కూడా కొట్టడానికి ఏం లేదు.
Exactly.
ఇక కోచెస్
Even so it's very difficult. You're really making that child in a way incapable of handling the challenges.
కానీ చాలామంది స్పోర్ట్స్ మెన్స్ అనేది ఏంటంటే క్రికెట్కి ఇచ్చిన ప్రయారిటీ, లేదా రీసెంట్లీ కొంత షటిల్ బ్యాడ్మింటన్ కూడా వచ్చింది, టెన్నిస్కి వచ్చింది. అపార్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ దట్ మిగిలిన ఎస్పెషల్లీ అథ్లెటిక్స్కి వచ్చేటప్పటికి ఎవ్వరూ అంతగా ప్రయారిటీ లేదు అనేది చాలామంది అంటున్నారు.
I think now with Neeraj Chopra's performance, Parul Chowdhury's performance, athletics, it's not just a 4x4 relay or 400 meters. Jyoti in hurdles. I think across we have long jump, we have done well. The importance is there, but for every sport, as I said earlier, because Neeraj Chopra is such a big star, you have javelin throws for young kids, for everybody being developed everywhere. Cricket does well because it's managed well. Okay? And I don't think we should compare it because it's uncomparable.
దట్స్ ట్రూ.
And we have to applaud the commitment of the association or the BCCI, where it supports not just its players, it supports its officials, it ensures that they are secure in their sport, having contributed so much. Right? And in cricket, because of their model that they had, the IPL and all that, which other sports, Kabaddi and all have come up with, was a great way to bring talent from rural India to showcase at the top. You take whether it was Irfan Pathan or the homes that they came from, and to enrich their lives in such a way is pure management and taking care. What happens in their conference tables with the heads is immaterial. But as long as you focus on the athlete and the development of the circle of life of that athlete is very important. In other sport, that is not done. That is not done.
షనీ విల్సన్ ఏం చేస్తున్నారు రైట్ నౌ? ఎక్కడున్నారు, ఏమైనా ఐడియా ఉందా?
Shiny Chennai Lundu. Yeah, she's working for Food Corporation of India. So she works there.
ఓకే.
I just meet them on some meeting or some occasions, but not really, yeah.
దట్స్ ట్రూ. కానీ నిజం చెప్పండి, మీరు అశ్వని సినిమా తర్వాత మీకు చాలా మ్యాచెస్ వచ్చి ఉండొచ్చు కదా?
Eyes was closed, ears was closed. Not really. I think while I was doing Ashwini also, I was competing athlete. So for Ashwini also, I gave just 40 days of my time because I had the Asian Games coming up. I had National Championship coming up. So I think the first 2 movies, I was still a competing athlete. So focus was not on anything else.
కానీ ఇప్పుడు అకాడమిక్స్ ఏమంటారు నెక్స్ట్ ఇయర్కి అకాడమిక్ ప్లానింగ్లో ఉంటారు నవంబర్ డిసెంబర్ అంటే. సో మీ అకాడమీలో కనుక జాయిన్ అవ్వాలి వచ్చి చూడాలని అంటే విచ్ ఇస్ ద రైట్ టైమ్ టు కాంటాక్ట్ యూ, హౌ కెన్ దెల్ కాంటాక్ట్ యూ?
I think they can reach out to us. They can see our website. They can see the foundation website, the criteria for applying. But the admission process has already begun.
యా దట్స్ వాట్ నవంబర్ డిసెంబర్. అచ్చా ఓకే.
November, December, because we have very limited seats. As I said, 870 is what we look at. We can't take a child more than that. We have 320 in boarding. The rest are all day boarders. So that's the number. So you'll have to, we have to close in by December end, January. For me, parents who want to come, Coog is a lovely place to come in December to visit. So you can come and look up the school. We are in Gonikopal. School is open. There'll be somebody in the office, and they can reach out to me. My contacts are there in the website, and you can always reach out to me.
ఇక్కడి నుంచి కూర్గ్ వెళ్ళాలంటే ఎన్ని అవర్స్ జర్నీ పడుతుందండి?
On 3.5 hours, 220 kilometers.
ఓకే.
So I think you have very good roads now. So it doesn't take, it's only in the city to get out on into the city is what is challenging. Otherwise, 3 hours, 3.5 hours max.
వాట్ ఈస్ ద ఎగ్జాక్ట్ క్రైటీరియా టు జాయిన్ దర్ యాక్చువల్లీ ఇన్ యువర్ అకాడమీ?
Academics, there is no criteria. You just, from 5th and above, you have to have a basic English knowledge, math and science. There'll be an entrance test for every child because we are an English medium school. So important is a little language that you should know because the teaching happens in English. For athletes who want to do open schooling and are already in open schooling and are really good, if they are medalist in the Khelo India Games or if they are medalist in, in their respective state championship, then they can apply to us and we have a selection that we will call upon. For hockey, we have a selection in-house itself. For shooting, yes, when they travel, people approach, but shooting is an expensive sport. So not many will come from far off and invest that kind. But athletics is something that is a mother of all sport. You can always come and experience.
వాట్ అబౌట్ ద కోచెస్ అండి? యాక్చువల్లీ ఒక మంచి కోచ్ దొరకడం ఒక స్పోర్ట్ మ్యాన్కి చాలా చాలా అవసరం. సో మీ విషయంలో ఏం జరిగింది అంటే ఏం చెప్తారు?
I didn't take up coaching because that's not my forte.
ఓ
I didn't want to take up. I was a sports officer in the bank, so I'm good at administration. I have a good set of, coaches, all NIs qualified. I also have a good set of PE teachers to run the curriculum in the classrooms. So both combined together, we make a good team. So I think with our results that we have shown in the recent All India Nationals and school games, the regional championships, all is because of the coaches. I can only give them the platform. I am not coaching, so I can't take that credit. The credit goes to my coaches for bringing them to that. I only ask for results and I'll give them what there is required for them to produce those results.
కరెక్ట్. యా, ఇన్ జనరలీ ఒకటి అచీవ్ చేసిన తర్వాత అందరూ అప్రిషియేట్ చేస్తారు, అందరూ సన్మానాలు చేస్తారు, సత్కారాలు చేస్తారు. బట్ వాట్ యు ఆర్ డూయింగ్ ఈజ్ ద మోస్ట్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఫర్ ద సొసైటీ అండ్ ఫర్ ద స్పోర్ట్స్ మెన్ యాక్చువల్లీ.
Yeah, because not many are there at grassroots. Everybody talks about grassroots program, but a grassroots program with a very strong educational foundation is what I'm focusing on. Because for every child to go out and be confident is a challenge. And through sports, if we can drive that, that's the goal that I'm looking at. Yeah.
కానీ ఇర్రెస్పెక్టివ్ ఆఫ్ ఫినాన్షియల్ కండిషన్ అవన్నీ మనం పక్కన పెడితే ఎవరి ఇంట్లో అయినా సరే ఇద్దరు అమ్మాయిలు ఉండి ఆ పేరెంట్స్కి కానీ ఆ పిల్లలకి కానీ మీరు ఏం చెప్తారు?
I think every family has siblings, if you take, yeah. One may do well, the other may not do well in a particular field. The important issue is to see where both fit in and to strike a balance at home. And I think every child is gifted. Everybody has special something in them. It's for us to identify it. And I think rules of, rules at home should be applicable to everybody, irrespective of whether you have achieved the Olympic medal or not. But inside the home, everybody. The family bonding is what is important. The mutual respect is what is important. And I think that balance to strike is something that all of us as parents keep learning. It's not, because my older one was also already a state championship. My younger one, really, I didn't pay that much attention because, badminton, I take her at 5 o'clock for training, evening. So really, I didn't really pay attention to my younger one. So it happens. And we are all, after all, humans. So it's, and it's always, first child is always protected, second one you always say, okay. So those are learnings of life, and I think that will happen with every one of us, but to strike a balance and to have that mutual respect is very important.
ట్రూ ట్రూ మన పర్సనల్ లైఫ్లో అయినా ప్రొఫెషనల్ లైఫ్లో అయినా లేదా ఒక 100 మీటర్స్ రన్ ఫినిష్ చేయడానికి ఆ లాస్ట్ మినిట్ ఏదైతే ఉంటుందో అక్కడైనా మెంటల్ స్ట్రెంగ్త్ అండ్ మెంటల్ హెల్త్ ఈజ్ మోర్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ అని మీద ఒక ఇంటర్వ్యూలో నేను చూశాను. దట్స్ రియలీ గ్రేట్. కానీ గట్టిగా మాట్లాడాలంటే మీ టైంలోనో మన టైంలోనో అంత పెద్ద ఏం లేదేమో అనిపిస్తుంది.
Today's scenario is where we talk about mental preparedness.
ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ.
Okay, mental preparedness must happen whether it is you're writing your examination or whether you're approaching any kind of, say, interview. I always tell that the man or the person who is mentally tougher is the eventual winner. Because all of us train 365 days equally hard. And what really sets you apart is the mental ability to actually go through that finish line. Because, when I speak to my kids, I also, Usain Bolt is also very tensed when he is competing. He may be flamboyant, but that's the way he releases his negative energy. That brings in a lot of positive energy within himself. So for us to manage that kind of emotion requires mental preparation. And mental preparation happens through meditation, through balancing, through monitoring your heartbeat, to calming yourself, and to actually visualize your race. So for me, when I was competing against Usha, it was also, anyway, I'm going to come second. It really didn't matter. Till Dr. Rupan Das, who was a sports psychologist, came from the US and he said, Ashwini, he watched me train in the stadium and he said, I'd like to take you through mental training. And I said, what is mental training? He said, just come and I'll take you. And it was just visualizing, setting targets of what you can achieve, not target as who your opponent is. So I stopped running against Usha, but I started running against the time that I set for myself.
రైట్, ఐ గాట్ ఇట్. యా.
So that's the difference. And your preparation mentally to achieve that time became the prime focus and Usha became secondary. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the kind of focus. So you're not focusing on who's next to you in the competition, but you're actually focusing on the finish line. That's your job.
మనకి మనమే టార్గెట్ పెట్టుకున్నాం.
And then the positive assertions that you speak within yourself through calming your emotions, through the breathing techniques, are all very important. And that goes for everybody. So that's how I approached, and that's how I saw results, not just beating Usha, but I also improved my own timings.
కరెక్ట్. కానీ ఇప్పుడు మీ ఇద్దరి అమ్మాయిలకి మీరేం చెప్తారు? అంటే ఇలా డ్రెస్సింగ్ ఇలా వేసుకోవద్దు అని చెప్తారా, ఇలా మాట్లాడద్దు అని చెప్తారా, లేదంటే బయట సొసైటీలో ఇలా ఉండకపోతే మనకి రెస్పెక్ట్ ఉండదు అని చెప్తారా? వాట్ యూ టెల్ దెమ్ యాక్చువల్లీ?
I would tell every child to conduct oneself with dignity. It's not the way, mere dressing does not speak volumes about you. And I think everybody should have that respect for your family that you come from, respect for your surroundings, and with dignity approach everything that you do. I think that is very, very important, because if you lose that and you think only by, dressing up in a particular way you're going to gather attention, nobody will respect you.
కరెక్ట్.
Nobody will respect you. And I think I always tell, conduct yourself in a manner where they give you respect, you also give respect. and be aware of all your surroundings. Don't do things because you have to please somebody. Do things that you feel comfortable and you're confident about.
మీది ఒక వీడియో చూసాను నేను. తిరుపతి వెళ్ళారు మీరు.
That's the annual ritual.
అచ్చా, ఎవ్రీ ఇయర్.
Yeah, every year I have to go 2-3 times, but now it's become a little cumbersome, so I go once a year, yeah.
ఓకే. సో అయితే భగవంతుడిని నమ్ముతారు.
Chala, see? You can see Ganapati everywhere.
True.
Yeah.
True.
That's.
కానీ
I think you have to have faith. It's not just in any religion. I think faith drives you to take the right path. You know, and if you have a little bit of fear in God, that there's somebody in whichever form above is looking at you, because that karma always comes back.
True.
So I think if you're aware of that and have faith in what you do your things well, yeah. I believe that.
దట్స్ ట్రూ. సో అయితే ఇప్పుడు అకాడమీలో ఒక పర్టికులర్ ఏజ్ తర్వాత వాళ్ళు బయటికి వెళ్ళిపోతారు. వెళ్ళిన తర్వాత దిల్ కమ్ బ్యాక్ టు అగైన్ ఆఫ్టర్.
Oh, I have lots of students. In fact, one of my students, Harshit Shetty, became a doctor. He got first in PhD. His first salary came, we have a temple in the school.
Okay.
We have a Vidya Ganapati temple, which we built. So he came and gave his first salary to the Lord. So, so I have many students who, you know, who come back, who've joined, who's in IT. So it's a great community, yeah. It's nice to see children's journey that way, yeah. And I'm happy that we as a team could provide that platform for them.
ట్రూ. సార్ యాక్చువల్లీ హాకీ ప్లేయర్ అని చెప్పని విన్నాను. మీరు లవ్ మ్యారేజ్ మ్యామ్, అడగచ్చా? అవునా?
అవును. I got to know him soon after I retired, yeah, when I was doing maybe a year and a half, and then we got married, yeah.
ఓకే.
Because I was already almost 27. Everybody's saying, oh, you're too old to get married, you know. Yeah, that's when we got married, yeah.
So there is no any objections from both the family sides.
There's never been any objection for anything I've done in life.
That's amazing.
Nothing, whether it was sports, whether it was joining a job, whether it was doing movies. From my family, there was absolutely no objection.
కానీ మా ఇంట్లో అంటూ ఉంటారు, స్పోర్ట్స్ మెన్గా చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి ఉన్నందుకు ఏ పని చేయడానికి we don't wait for anyone actually.
Yeah.
We are ready to do any kind of work.
No, and I think what's incredible in that learning is that you're willing to take a chance. You're willing to take that risk.
True.
You know, and not fear from it. The moment you fear from it, then there are doubts. I have done everything like that. You know, when Ramoji Rao and all came and asked me, they were sitting in the stadium and said, you want to do a movie? I said, no. I literally said, no, I'm not going to do. I said, I've never done movie. What do you mean? But they were persistent. They were persistent. They said, no, we'll just hear us out. And I heard them out. So I said, okay, 40 days time, just do it. So I just plunged into it. I didn't have to ask my mother or father or anything. I just plunged into it, yeah.
Oh, you didn't take permission at all?
Permission, no. It just, we were okay with it. So that's how I've approached everything in life.
Very independent from the
So even when I worked for the bank, I worked for 16 odd years. I wasn't very happy towards the end because I worked under, you know, about 6-7 chairmans. One last chairman, I wasn't very happy.
Okay.
So I went in the morning before my stenographer, my clerk came in. I was an officer there, so I went and typed my own resignation. I gave it to my boss and I walked out.
Okay.
By 9 o'clock, I was out of the office and I didn't look back at all. So that's how I've approached many things in life.
కానీ నిజానికి ఒక స్పోర్ట్స్ విమెన్ ని కనుక చేసుకుంటే ఉండే అడ్వాంటేజెస్ బోల్డ్ అని ఉంటాయి కదా, నిజం చెప్పండి.
No, but I think you have to work. You have to take that conscious decision of what you can do next. You know, it's not easy for everybody to just walk out of a job after 16 years. So I could, if I hadn't left, both my husband and I wouldn't have started a school. So there is always an opportunity. You have to grab that opportunity and not just sit and say, I'll wait for luck to happen, because luck is merely an opportunity that falls on your lap. You have to be aware of it, that's all.
Yeah, just like this. If I'm not in the media, I may not meet you.
Look, you'd be still looking for a job.
నిజంగా మ్యామ్, యాక్చువల్లీ నేను మీ సినిమా చూసినప్పటి నుంచి కెన్ యూ బిలీవ్ ఇట్? అసలు నేను ఎప్పుడన్నా వెళ్ళి కలవగలుగుతానని కూడా నేను ఎప్పుడు అనుకోలే. అలాంటిది జస్ట్ దో ఐమ్ ఇన్ టు మీడియా, ఆ పాయింట్లో మనం కలవగలిగాను. నిజంగా రియల్లీ బ్లెస్డ్ అనిపిస్తుంది ఈరోజు.
So nice to meet you.
వాట్ అబౌట్ మూవీస్ మ్యామ్? చూస్తూ ఉంటారా?
No, I think life has many phases. My athletic phase is gone. My movie phase is gone. So I'm doing something with young children. And I'm happy in that space. So I'm not really looking at. And I don't know acting. I was never an actress, you know. It was very difficult. It was worse than writing my board exam. So it wasn't easy for me to do cinema at all. So it was good when it lasted.
డే స్కెడ్యూల్ ఎలా ఉంటుంది మ్యామ్ మీది నౌ డేస్?
So my day schedule is, as I said, I wake up early in the morning. 1.5 hours is to myself with my exercise. Then, if I'm in Bangalore, in school, then I'm in the office from 10. I go back, though my house is inside the campus, I go home only by 5 o'clock.
ఓకే.
So morning, my fitness with the entire school children, because 300 school kids from boarding are all on the ground. One is in hockey, one is in just doing fitness, one is playing basketball. So
వెరీ బిగ్ రెస్పాన్సిబిలిటీ.
so they're all there. I have good staff and team, but so the morning is spent with them, and then they all go to class. So I'm in the office till about 5. Evening I come back home and I do a little yoga, and then I'm an early bird. I sleep by 9:30.
ఓ, వెరీ గుడ్ గర్ల్.
Very good girl, actually. Still the school competing girl, I think. Unless, I mean, not if I have an occasion to attend, that's it. But I'm normally, sleep early, wake up early. Yeah, that's my routine. So in Bangalore, of course, I have more time because I'm not sitting in the office as such or interacting with my teachers or this. So I do a lot of work from home and then play golf, which I love to do. So that's, and the golf course is just 5 minutes away for me.
ఆ గోల్ఫ్ నాకు ఇప్పటికీ అర్థం కాదు.
I was like you till I got into it. I think for everybody to say, oh, retire, after retirement you must take golf. It's not that. I think once you learn the sport, it's very, very interesting, yeah.
Is it? Okay,
We pay for 50, 100 rupees. So it's very, very, competing even for that, just for the fun of it, to
Okay.
exchange that kind of money. So it's good fun, yeah.
మీ మెడల్స్ అన్నీ ఉంచారా, తీసేసి పక్కన పెట్టారా?
It's all in some bag.
అచ్చా.
Nothing is displayed except my Arjuna
అర్జున్
award
అవార్డ్. యా యా. ఓకే.
and a few one or two medals on that thing. And I think it's there. It's
అర్జున్ అవార్డు విన్ అవ్వడం అంటే, దాన్ని సాధించడం అంటే యూఆర్ బ్లెస్డ్ అంతే. దట్ ఈస్ గ్రేటెస్ట్ పాయింట్.
I think that's a reward for my parents' commitment.
మ్యామ్, అర్జున్ అవార్డు వచ్చింది అని మీకు ఎలా తెలిసింది? యాక్చువల్లీ ఆ రోజు ఆ మూమెంట్ మాకు ఒక్కసారి షేర్ చేసుకుంటారు?
When I received the Arjuna Award, yes, it was a moment of great pride because years of hard work and that recognition was important. More because the hard work of my parents paid off. I think that award is truly for them. Yes, it was marred with a little controversy because somebody wanted it before I got it and all that. But nevertheless, I think for every athlete who aspires to be a sports person and wants to be at the Olympics, winning the highest award is always, a glorious occasion in their journey. Yeah. So.
మా కోసం ఒకసారి చూపిస్తారా మీ అర్జున్ అవార్డ్ని?
ఇక్కడే ఉంది.
అక్కడే. అరే మంచి తెలుగు.
One word of Telugu, so. It's.
అట్లీస్ట్ చూడగలిగాను నేను అర్జున్ అవార్డ్ని. యా, ఐఎమ్ రియల్లీ బ్లెస్డ్ ఇన్ దట్ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ వ్యూ.
So it's. Yeah.
సో మీరు వంట చేస్తారా?
లేదు.
లేదా? అవునా? సో ఫుల్ బిజీ.
Yeah.
ఓకే. వచ్చా చేయడానికి? ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఉంది కానీ యూ డోంట్ హ్యావ్ మచ్ టైమ్ టు డూ దట్.
I think I can make time for it. But there's not nothing that is not possible. You can always make time for it. But I think the interest should also be there along with that. Yeah.
ట్రూ, దట్స్ ట్రూ. రియలీ. మిమ్మల్ని ఏమైనా ఇబ్బంది పెట్టానా? ఎక్కువ టైం తీసుకున్నానేమో But I'm so sorry to take such a long
No,
time.
no,
actually.
it's a pleasure to know you and your entire team. Thank you for coming from Hyderabad. So, and it's a long way to come to interview me. So, thank you.
I
for
love
this.
to, ma'am. Really, and it's my pleasure to have
Thank
you.
you
Really.
so much. Absolute pleasure. Yeah. Thank you to all the viewers. Yeah.